Thoughts about the notion of hybridity, the way it's manifested in your work, sort of analog, digital.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
But also relating to the bigger picture of this exhibition.
So I went to the School of the Art Institute of Chicago, and Rebecca Duclos, who was the dean, said something so I think was completely brilliant, which is that when we think of the visual arts, we segment it into craft, design, art. Are you a craftsman? Are you an artist? Are you a designer? She said that's not what we should be thinking about. It's a nexus. It's a web. Everything in the man-made world is designed. Like, everything is, like, there's a design to everything. There is an art to everything, and everything has to be crafted. So it's just, what are you speaking to more, and what are you taking from everything else? So I'm really interested in hybridity in the context of the nexus, in this kind of idea that I am an artist, I am a craftsman, I am a designer all in one, and I'm just kind of using different proportions at different times. And then in this show, I think I represent the hybridity of crossing into technology and what that means culturally and racially. How can I express this globalized economy that we're in? Like, how is culture changing through technology? Something like that. That's a
Pixelated. Yeah.
pixelated.
It's kind of like reminds me of the Lego.
Yeah. They are essentially rubbings, but you don't actually rub the pounds. So originally the process was used to archive Buddhist carvings up in mountains and to bring them down to museums. So conservators learned this process of attaching rice paper to stone and then pouncing. Based on how you lay the ink down and how far you press, and actually if you go over it, you can change the complete form. Cobalt, which makes blue, actually comes from modern Turkey. Cobalt only reached China through the Silk Road, through like the reverse channels. So Song Dynasty ceramics, which I love, is seen as kind of this untouched Chinese culture, and really Ming Dynasty and Qing Dynasty, the blue and white work is really the opening the gate. Really direct correlations between what was coming from China and then having your own interpretation onto that in blue and white. So Holland made Delftware, right, out of the blue and white. Maiolica came out of the blue and white tradition. The Moors in Portugal, soft-faced porcelain in France. All of these were just translations, right? Because they wanted to make a cheaper product that they could sell that didn't come from China. And it just developed into its own cultural thing.
I maybe have one really pretty nicely made English one. I forget the English company.
So,
yeah, or there may have been a couple. But a lot of the ones, again, these are thrift shop finds that I've accused there over years. Some of them are really crappy, you know, and you can sort of see the way the images were pieced together, and they have this Asian motifs and all that. But they're clearly not well made. And also, there's an interesting range of quality amongst this stack of plates that I eat off of every time.
I'm also really interested in chinoiserie, Chinese-like, so just the idea of what Asian culture is. I'm really interested in that because I was born in Connecticut, right? Like, I'm not, like, part of me, by heritage, by ethnicity, I'm Chinese, but I grew up here, so at what point am I a translation, right? Is, like, what is my culture? How far removed is it, really? Like, I know it, but I also don't know it at the same time.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about chop suey?
Chop suey, oh my god, yes. And pagodas.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so pagodas in Chinatowns that you see are actually were made and designed to appeal to the Caucasian majority to come in and see the exoticism of the culture to sell, essentially. And that was started in San Francisco because of the Chinatown fire. They had a chance, Chinatown was kind of a slum, and they had a chance to revitalize Chinatown and what it was. And these two, now you would call them brilliant architect developers, made these really chintzy, gaudy pagodas and started just saying, like, this is what China's about, right? And at the time that they were building it, China didn't look like that at all. They didn't have pagodas. So that's, again, the translation and just like selling an image. Right? Yeah. Plus
branded.
Yeah. It's all branded.
Remind me of the from LA show. There is the Chinese dance and dancers always have to do this.
Yeah. Do you see these in China? I love these, but they are an abstraction of a Japanese cookie. And they did have a culture inside, but really interesting.
Really don't have fortune in it.
We played at the German Bluegrass Festival, and it was just a really weird scene. You know, I think we were one of a few American groups there, and there is this, at least I don't know, maybe it still goes on. There were the German folks who were kind of recreating this hunter trapper Western American frontier mythology, and they were camped out there. They were wearing animal hides and fur, and the guys had big beards, and they were teepees and stuff. It was this real strange, it's kind of quasi-recreation of something that I certainly had never experienced.
You know, one of my favorite misinterpretations is Deutsch Dutch, like Pennsylvania Dutch,
Yes.
or like a Dutch baby, which is a pancake that was originally Deutsch.